Good morning. You know, it's a good morning when Mrs. Pate's performance is on time.
Wow.
Oh, what is the pleasure of we having you so early?
Wow. Do you want the real answer to that? The mister thought he heard a ghost this morning and woke me up, and it was about 3:30 in the morning, so I had to soothe him to sleep.
We had,
if you know what I mean.
This whole week, the weather's been absolutely gorgeous.
I sang him a lullaby.
But between work and you guys seen on this video that she did yesterday, I was on a buying spree. I was doing a lot of shopping. So by the time I got home, sometimes I really wasn't able to take advantage of it. I had one guy who was dragging me on for 2-3 days about buying a package deal. So I kind of just wrote him off. He aggravated me. Goodbye. Not worth the headache. Yesterday, because my water is still off, so I'm still bringing stuff to work to power wash and clean and get ready for sale. So the Honda was already filled with equipment that I got cleaned at work, and so I didn't really have to run any errands. I ran one errand after work, and what I say over and over again, when you go on a pick, when you go to buy something, it doesn't help to ask if you have anything else for sale. So I ended up going there for a lawnmower, walked away with that power washer.
Especially if they're moving.
Yeah, it's a 3,000 PSI pressure washers. Those sell really, really well from last year. If you guys remember that cluster, you know what, power washer. After that was all said and done, that was still worth very good money. You know what? These glasses are for you. You know what? So anyway, to backtrack, right? Yesterday I came home. So it was absolutely gorgeous, like 71 degrees. I'm like, this is perfect to paint. So I figured, like, you know what? Let me take advantage of this beautiful weather. And I gave you guys that awesome video to watch on Monday. So that bought us all time to do things, right? And she decides to just whatever. So I watched the video already, and I can't put the video to words because I guess YouTube, there's like a delay. Even though they upload the video, your comments in the live chat isn't going on. So I'm just trying to play catch up, and I'm playing.
I got the live comments.
I know. I finally got them this morning, so I got.
Oh, it always does that. So now, like, the live goes up right away, but then the live comments, it takes time. Like almost, I want to say it takes like a good 12 hours before the live comments connect.
I don't like that. I figure once the video would uploaded. Yeah, because then you know what? Some of you guys who weren't there.
Are we serving cheese with the wine again today?
You guys are missing out on the comments too. So I'm just.
Would you like a brie or a Gruyere?
You're lucky I didn't wear the same clothes from yesterday and say that all I did was work since yesterday.
You wouldn't have been suited to sleep this morning if you wore the same clothes as yesterday.
So.
Heyo. keep walking into it, and I'll keep keeping it awkward.
She says, listen, it's supposed to be really, really cold this weekend. We went from 70 degrees, now we're down to 34. And that the wind is going to be violent. I could have swore 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning, I could have swore I heard voices. And you know me.
It's called the wind howling.
And you guys know me. I have to, make sure. We never had this problem before, but you never know.
Mama had to check and make sure there were no boogeymen under the bed and no one hiding in the closet.
No.
It's okay.
No.
It's okay to be a little scared. I got you. I got you.
So anyway, yeah, so that's that.
Trust me, this place with the cameras and the stuff, if you know what I mean, you don't want to come a knocking at the Pate household.
Okay.
Be ready to rumble.
Okay. So good morning, Henry. How are you?
Well.
KCB, absolutely. Hope you are doing well. I've been a little busy at work and trying to do this, so I don't know what's going on with Instagram. KCB is tremendous on Instagram. I cannot stress this more than enough. You have to get on Instagram and you have to check out KCB. I cannot stress this more than enough.
Okay. Oh, my love.
Good morning, Rich. How are you? Gradins. Good morning, KCB. Yep, 70 here last week. Snow Sunday into Monday in Iowa. Absolutely. There's supposed to be snow this week as well. They're predicting flurries. I think we're done with winter. The cold weather, we are not.
Everybody can break out their pink nail polish and their capris, their clam digger pants.
Good morning, Roger. How are you? Kaiser, good morning as well. Fun things to do with Tech Sparky. How you doing?
Braden?
Oh, he's scared of the dark.
No.
Not really.
But do you want your... I'm going to say it. Hold on.
Okay. I
No.
don't know what you're going to say.
Braden, he's not as scared. Oh my gosh. Oh, my grandma came out. He's not as scared of the dark. But he has had a couple little encounters with someone tickling his toes one night in his sleep. And clearly he hears voices. The mister believes in the afterlife, if you know what I mean. There's nothing wrong with that. So does the missus in her own way.
Do you really want to go there?
We could go there one day. I don't disbelieve. So there's that. And you've had some interesting encounters. So
good morning, Nick. How are you? Can I drain the gas on the 1236 at your own leisure and at your own pleasure? If you want to do that, go ahead. If your fuel is treated, why not just let it sit for another month and ride out the rest of the winter? If not, drain it and have a nice day. Grease it, clean it, and pour it away. I like to detail our machines before we put them away. Also, some of our machines are due for a little bit of a paint overhaul, so I'm going to wait to get that done as well. Good morning, AJP. How are you? Mr. Prime for a good time, Chris Small Engines. Good morning.
I'm sorry. I know you saw him, but I want to acknowledge Thomas. I didn't see you, Lovebug. Hi, Thomas. I didn't get to see him. You said hello to me too, and I didn't get to see Thomas before.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's okay.
We are supposed to get 1 to 3 inches of this week in Wisconsin. Absolutely. I know on Instagram, on Facebook, people were posting they were getting snow. I think it was in Wisconsin. You guys actually got a little bit of wet snow, or was that Canada?
Braden, you're the perfect subscriber for this channel. With all his whining, we need the cheese. We have a friend from Wisconsin.
You are so stupid.
This is great. We have a cheese connection now. Little cheese with the wine. Somebody likes to whine a lot. It's okay. It's okay. We still love you. We still love you, my muffin. Braden, what's your favorite cheese, Braden? Do you have a favorite? I'm just curious. I always like to people from Wisconsin. I always like to ask if they have a favorite cheese. It's a question. I'm allowed to ask questions.
Jason tucks his equipment every night.
Actually, Scott Keller.
Hey, leave it. Leave it.
Yes, Conquer.
Leave it. Leave it.
There's one shed that I'm always having to remind him to lock. And I always have to end up barreling out to do.
That was closed.
Boom, boom,
Once in a blue moon.
I feel like we're at a club at night. All of a sudden, I'll be putting my head on the pillow, and all of a sudden, you hear the doors. Boom, 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 boom. I feel like we need to go on the Jersey Shore. Boom, boom, boom. And he'll say to me, I shut them. You couldn't have shut them if I hear boom, boom, boom from the winds. It's not that hard. Shut one, shut the other, call it a day.
Good morning, Brando. How are you? I know you're on a mini road trip. No, I thought he's moving, so I thought he was driving from where he is to
back
Texas.
And forth.
Snow, no snow here finally. So there are some remnants of snow. I wish we can get a little bit more snow, and we're good to go. Now that we have the Hemi, I think, dialed in, I'm itching for one more good snow storm.
It's not we're not gonna get enough snow to play in.
I know.
And I think even the little flurries that we're supposed to see this week, like 2 days this week, they have little flurries. Then the 2 days after we have rain. I have a feeling the little flurries are gonna maybe go flurries, rain. It's just gonna be yucky. It's gonna be yucky enough to be like a nasty little commute into work, that kind of nonsense. Nothing fun to do with, Leave it.
Exactly.
Oh, see? He does have
too.
Pepper jack cheese, but you like your cheddars. Thank you, Brandon, for answering the question. Yes, those are some respectable choices of cheese. I love it. Do you wax your machines?
No, I believe that is a complete waste of time. People who do, what do they call that? Come on. Ceramic coating, complete waste of time. If you love your machine and you want to waste your time and your money, ceramic coat it. Waste of time. Just continue to grease it, love it, oil it, and there's really nothing you could do to stop the snow from sticking, right? People have done the review on waxing and ceramic coating their machines, and they're absolutely, utterly useless. Just before you blow snow, cover it in like Pam or something, and then have a party. I don't know. But if you want to waste your time, go through it. I like to, at the end of the season, power wash all the machines, get all the dirt, grime, and stuff off of it. Any things that needs to be treated, because we do use and abuse our machines. Any bare metal, take it down to bare metal, hit it with some paint. See you later, love you, bye.
I mean, even look at
next season.
Look at the machine we had up yesterday. I mean, the Honda that we got to tweak on, the self-propelled. I mean, I did a good old what your mama used to do to your face growing up. I did a good spit and thumb polish, and just the little spot that I did that to. I think once that bad boy gets power washed, I think we're going to be in good shape. I don't think she's hurting. I mean, she's got some natural wear and tear to the side, some scrapes. But I personally think, I mean, I'm wondering if he ends up wanting to paint the wheels. But I don't think we're going to need to, overhaul the Honda. I think
what Honda?
The Honda from yesterday, my love.
Oh, you're gonna.
I'm literally at the point of referring to that one as
if you guys
the Honda.
Check out yesterday's upload that she did, and you will understand what we're talking about later on.
Yeah, it's officially called the Honda.
So I am crazy, but I am not. I don't want to use the word. I'm not dumb. I think it's dumb.
I hate that word.
Good morning, Paul. How are you? How do I find about the lawnmowers you are selling? Everything I have for sale is posted online via Craigslist or
Paul, look for the most well-written ads and the best photographs. You'll easily find us.
Yesterday was very productive when I got home, so I do have a few more lawnmowers coming up for sale. Whatever I have for sale, I put up for sale.
It really is.
I don't hold anything.
There's very few that can compete with that.
I use Pam on my snowblowers, and I wash them before I store them. And I also repeat. Absolutely.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with Pam.
Our machines are 15, 20 years old. I cannot stress this more than enough. Between it being an Ariens, between it being a Snow Tech, Snow King, between Royal Purple, between me being very anal, okay, they're built to last. I mean, listen, I took that 15, 20-year-old snowblower that she bought at a garage sale. I didn't know what I was getting myself into, but I invested about,
hey, Mickey.
I think I'm a little bit over $1,000 into that machine. Couple bucks more, I can get my nails a nice, brand new Rapid Track, but I wouldn't have it, any other way. That is something that I wanted to do, and that platform is worth investing a lot of time and money. If you have an Ariens from that generation that we use and that we collect and hoard, I believe that there is no repair to them that exceeds the value of the machine in which you need to replace it. Parts are plenty. They're built like tanks. And Ariens has done things where, because they have a great design and platform to begin with, you can retrofit newer things to your existing machine to upgrade it like a gearbox.
Yeah. I just want to mention something about the waxing. I know we're sitting here poking fun at the idea of waxing, but you guys triggered my thoughts of actually something from growing up. My grandfather, so my grandmother's yard growing up, she actually was in a few articles of, remember Better Homes and Gardens? She had a grape arbor, like everything they had in Italy. I mean, she managed to produce in this yard of hers. And they were just so proud of what they had. And they didn't have a lot. And the equipment that they had, my grandfather maintained himself. I mean, they had thatchers and, you name it. And my grandfather was, he was a musician. He was the one I've mentioned before on the channel. I mean, he was one of a kind. But he was amazing with his hands and equipment as well, a jack of all trades. And I have to tell you, this was the same man who would be out scrubbing his driveway. I mean, everything they had when they came here, you valued what you had. You valued your home. You valued your land. You valued your everything. Like I said, your driveway even. My grandfather would, scrub, they had stockade fence. And I remember my grandfather, they didn't have power washers. They would be out there scrubbing the fence down. Like everything was kept meticulous at that house. You could eat off, I feel like as a kid, I could eat off of the outside of their home and on the ground. And my mother wouldn't have freaked out about it because everything was just well maintained. I could have pictured my grandfather maintaining his equipment by, I don't know what he did with it as far as waxing or not, but I'm thinking of someone of his generation and how he cared for his things, and the pride he took in it. And if that's how you feel about your equipment and you want to, if you have that one prized possession, snowblower or whatever it may be, and that's your thing and you want to wax it, I don't want you to think we're poking fun at you for maintaining it. Like, maybe you're not a flipper like us. Maybe.
Wait. Our collection, fit and finish, is very important to me.
Yeah, but I don't want people to think that we're making fun of someone. Like, let's just say they have one piece and they value it and love
absolutely
it.
Wax it if you do it.
By all means,
but if you think ceramic coating it and all that stuff is going to make it perform better, I've seen videos. I'm not impressed. I don't think it's worth it.
That's just our
innards of mine.
opinion.
I thought the machine performed better, but I have no proof because it was of the coating. Understand? Hey, listen, if that's how you feel, by all means, I'm open to suggestions and learning. I have just watched other YouTubers do it, and I just literally rolled my eyes.
What I will tell you, my opinions that I have an intolerance for, I think machines, as I've grown to love and appreciate the craftsmanship, machines, and I know, Mr. Briggs, you're going to come at me for this one, and I'm ready for it. I do not believe a valued, loved piece of equipment deserves to be sitting in the graveyard, which I mean out in the yard, getting mauled by the weather, getting dumped on by snow, rusted out in your yard, being treated like a POS. No machine, would you do that?
No deserves that.
No machine deserves that. If that machine's good to you, I mean, at the very least, if you have nowhere else to put the machine, put a dang tarp over it, something. They make covers. Do something.
But tarps are bad for long-term storage.
Exactly.
Rust and moisture build up inside.
So you have to be dedicated to moving, taking it off. Like,
you're on YouTube, you found us, right?
Yeah.
Go on YouTube. There are YouTube channels that show you how to build. There's people who built sheds and decks out of pallet wood, which is free. And you guys could build just a little enclosure for your, for your snowblower, whatever. I cannot just that's a good thing she touched upon. We get that a lot. How do I store my snowblower? Obviously in the heated temperature controlled environment is the best, but just like us, we don't have that luxury. So the garage, a shed is absolutely better than nothing. With our machines that we keep in the shed, they just get dusty.
And again, that's just our personal opinion. We treat our vehicles well.
Yeah.
We treat our equipment well. When it comes to stuff in the house, I grew up in the theory of, listen, we had nothing. My family came from nothing. My parents worked their rear ends off. But you know what? The things that you did have, you know why it lasted? Yes, I will argue things were made better back then, 100%. But we also knew when it broke down, half was your fault. The other half was
God's will.
God's will. And you better figure out how to fix it, because we couldn't afford to go have someone fix something for us. So you know what? You took care of things better than, look at how we are now. Like, I truly believe we're in this throwaway society where it's like, oh, no big deal. Throw it outside. Let the elements hit it, or who cares? Oh, I hit a rock. I ruined, the motor, whatever. Even things in your home, people just don't care. Even when I went to get my washing machine, I knew like we had saved for a rainy day, but there was like another couple there getting a dishwasher, right? And when I listened to how this other couple took care of they only had their dishwasher for 3 years. And I was like, immediately I was thinking to myself, like, don't you have a warranty? You should be attacking the store right now. Like, what are you doing? Like, you're replacing your dishwasher. And then when I heard how she was throwing in these plates with chunks of food, the husband was like, yeah, you should see. She puts a full meal in the dishwasher. She doesn't clean anything off. And the woman's like, that's why we're here. Just buy a new one. But I'm thinking to myself, like, great, good for you. You've got that kind of money. Congratulations. But are we done as a society, like, giving a darn about the things that we own? Like, does money have any value anymore? Like, you work hard for the things you have. You appreciate what you have. Like, everything that we work for, everything he brings in, like, we're very lucky to have him. Like, we have a nice range of small equipment, and he keeps our yard looking really beautiful. But I know some of the equipment that we have, some of our Thatchers, things like that, we wouldn't have had if he didn't find a really great deal on. I mean, if he wants to go out and buy it brand new, like I would never say no to that. I mean, that's his thing. But the bottom line is he maintains it. He fixes it if something happens. Like, we are blessed. There's very little, knock on wood, in this house that, like, between the two of us, we aren't skilled enough to fix. So we take care of things. People stopped doing that, it seems, a long time ago. It's kind of sad. Any hoodle. Jamie, I had said earlier, so here in our neck of the woods in the Northeast, we're looking at this week maybe getting a little dusting for a day or two around about Tuesday, Wednesday, maybe into Thursday. We're getting rained on at the end of the week, about Thursday evening into Friday, about Saturday morning. Temperatures are dropping again. Those nighttime lows into the freezing temperatures, daytime into the 40s again. The following week, the week of spring, don't forget next week is daytime savings, so you're losing that hour, guys and gals. Spring ahead. But the following week, the first week of spring into April, we're still looking at hovering around those 40s, very, very low 50s, lots and lots of rainy periods. They say we're not supposed to break out of this here in the Northeast till about mid-April. So about 2 weeks or so after Easter time, we should be looking at some better weather, which is, about typical. But I told him Farmer's Almanac has us in a really scorcher, a short spring, and a scorcher of a early spring ending, like mid-May scorcher temperatures throughout the entire summer and lasting until like October. Like, they're talking 90s, 100s. Northeast, which is like in October, not usual for us. And so we'll see. I guess we're going to be using that irrigation system quite a bit. But anyway, moving right on.
You're welcome, Paul. Good morning, Ellis. How are you? Hope you are doing well. Someone was asking me about a sleeve cylinder on their Honda Element, and I'm like, Ellis Mowers did a video. So I sent him your way.
Ellis.
I couldn't tag you in the post, which was weird, but anyway, he got to your channel. He said he watched it. I don't know if it helped him or not, but hope he became a permanent subscriber to your channel. Good morning, Mr. Greeley Man. How are you? Scott Keller is absolutely my vehicles, or I care about machines I take care of. Mechanical parts, looks don't matter.
Oh,
absolutely.
So I'm going to beg to differ. Then, Mr. Keller, if looks don't matter, how come you're looking so dang fine at your age and you got yourself those new choppers, huh? Huh? Exactly. If looks don't matter, my love.
He's saying on the inside. On the inside.
Oh, because he's a beautiful human inside and out. And now he's got his new choppers. He's looking ultra fine. Ultra fine.
What is this? Today, fast, hot, and now. Toss out. I'm glad you guys got some warmer weather. I watched your video the other day with your snowblowers. You said that, you missed something, or they were just, you're trying to set price. I absolutely understand. Okay, here's the deal, right? For us, we don't have auctions. We tried going to maybe like 1 or 2 auctions, and they were an absolute crap show. One, you had to pay to get in the sense where in order to bid, you would have to pay. And then a lot of the machines that we went to go for, they were more than sometimes what they cost new. It's absolutely insane. So I don't know if they had like people planted there to drive up the pricing, or was it people just going like gung-ho crazy? And things did sell. People were absolutely buying the things that they had, but that they bid it on. I was just absolutely, I'm blind. It was a mix of, it was a rental facility going out of business. So they had trucks, dozers, tools, the whole line. And we walked away with zero. An experience, of course, an absolute experience. You cannot pay for that. That is priceless. We like that. But for us, it is what it is. So if Rich, you were with her in the driveway when we went live, the reason why I told her to just buy all that equipment is because we already made the time and effort to get there already. So to walk there, to leave empty-handed is kind of, in my opinion, that's just us, is foolish. We already spent time and resources getting there. So if I could at least walk away with X amount of dollars, even if it's below my profit, at least I have something that I could walk walk away with. So that's our view. The other day I went to go buy something and I was so tired and aggravated. I really should have just bought it, even though it wasn't in the profit range I wanted to be in. You know, I drove about 40 minutes each way, and I just walked away. And I really should have just bought it, and at least I had something to show for the trip that I made. So that's how I feel.
And it killed me with the, and you know, we use that same line on other people. It's like, are you really coming out all this ways? You want to leave empty-handed?
Yeah. So one of the things in the negotiation process I would do, which you guys know, sometimes I like to figure out where they're coming from, because that's a long trip to make empty-handed if you decide to come here and negotiate.
Yeah. You know, the whole deal with the package that we were talking about in yesterday's live, part of, just one second.
Okay.
Part of the reason why I got to be honest, you know me, I'm not going to let certain things go. This one's going to, I got to tell you now, what's going to happen with this little package with the Honda from yesterday. I want to see how this turns out. I want to know exactly what we have into it. And, you know, I got to tell you guys, I'm going to disagree with so many of you on this one, and take this from someone who's been running their own side business successfully for 19 years. Please stop using the line that your labor's free. Oh, but you're working on your own equipment? Wrong. Do you think when I'm sitting there before I work with a client and I'm sitting there doing all the preliminary paperwork and planning that goes into a session, you don't think that do you think I don't include that into their fees? I'm not sitting there working for free. Everything I do, I make sure I manage all my pre-planning and post-planning into the fees for that client. That's how I come up with my fees. Please stop underestimating the fact that you're the person fixing it and not a shop, and saying, but I'm doing it, so it's not so bad. So I'm going to want to know what he has into it on labor. And then I got to tell you, I am going to be cutthroat, that we are not accepting a dime lower on that Honda package, because at the end of the day, when this guy looked at me and I looked at him and he was like, take it even though the self-propel's not working. And I looked at this guy and I'm like, he didn't read the ad, meaning this one. And I said to him, you know, that's a little shady on your part that you weren't going to tell me till we started talking about it. And now him and I are going back and forth, the guy. He wasn't even, I mean, we got down to, would you take 5 off? And this guy is like, nope.
Just pay it.
And so I have to, listen, hey, the player's got to respect another player, right? Like, we're both in this game. Like, this guy doesn't know I'm in the game like he is. And I'm sitting there like, dang, like, I like the perseverance, because I wouldn't have taken even a buck off if I were him either. And then I got to be honest with you. The whole reason that the missus was like, enough, at this point, I knew he wasn't budging. That was it. He already said he wanted it. If he hadn't given me the, like, just take it, I figured, you know, he must have seen some kind of value in taking the package home. So, you know what? I'm not going to come home empty-handed over not being able to take $10 off, you know? And then I'll be honest, as I mentioned in the video yesterday, listen, I've had my career, I've taught in some areas that are not areas that you'd want to be in. And I've enjoyed my career path there. I'm no longer in those areas. So I know how to behave and I know where to look, and I know how to act in those kind of areas. But this was not an area that I wanted to spend more time than I needed to be in. I was starting to be, people were watching. So I'm like, you know what? It's time to get moving. Like, let's just load up. Let's go. This is done. Call it a day. But I want full asking price for this package. And I'm really curious if you decide to fully redo this machine.
We'll figure it out. Like I said, it's a very simple machine. Once you have the right tools, it's not that hard to do. I think this would be more for some research and development. That's where I would see the wealth in that flip. So let's go back to this. We were talking about storage. One time I had a great lean yard with a tarp over it, and I went to go use it, and surprised there was a mama raccoon with her baby showing her teeth to me. I backed up fast. Absolutely. pretty scary.
That's where you tip your hat and say, ma'am,
yeah, ma'am.
go about your business.
Go about your business, and I'll use another machine, and we'll go about this project another day.
Let nature.
That's a good thing. So we're talking about, here in Long Island, New York, when do you service your snowblower for the last time for the season? He says that he does April 15th by taxes. That's very, very good. After.
Oh, Braden, honey, no. Mr. hasn't been running his flipping. Braden, it's my side business.
No.
He might have been in diapers still.
Yeah.
No, honey, I've been in my career in education for almost 20 years now. And of the 20, I've been running my remediations business outside of my career we're coming up on 19 now.
Do you know what? When did I start fixing and flipping equipment? If it's more than 5 years, I'd be very surprised.
Well, honey, we've been here now 8. So you have to be more, it has to be out.
Maybe around that time.
Because you started working on that mower with your dad. It had to be shortly after we were here.
Yeah, but that didn't start the buying and selling because we worked on the house.
We'd have to look into that.
That's a really good question. That's a really, really good. I know definitely more than 3 years now because I keep records. Yeah. Definitely more than 3 years. I have to go through some pictures and we'll go see if I can go through my my first machine flip. If I even have a picture of that, I can't remember the first thing that I flipped. I have a rough idea of the first thing that I flipped, but I don't know. But I'd say that. But absolutely, you know what? Congratulations to her. Congratulations to everybody. Listen, if you're celebrating 6 months doing what we do, that's a feat in itself. I had a buddy of mine. I don't even mention him on the channel anymore because he quit. It's a lot of work to do what we choose to do, and you just there is no other way to describe it, right? When there's other channels that give you YouTube videos on how to run and start a business, throw that crap out the window because you can't do nothing without you. And we just have I just have a love for what I do, and we have a purpose, and and the same thing with her endeavors, and you guys should have that too. If you guys don't have that underlying foundation, no matter what you do, if you can't apply yourself, then you're going to fail from the beginning. And if you have the heart and soul to do it, then running and owning whatever you decide to do will absolutely come natural to you.
Yeah, and I have to tell you, Mr. and I kind of talk about this here and there. This week alone, in my personal side business, I had a referral back. I had a referral of 3 new clients.
Did it come with the bag?
And I have to tell you, I have never in 19 years advertised. I have never put my name out there. Everything is by my reputation. And I have to tell you, what I do is very different than what the Mr. does. You have to have, right now I am a sneeze from having a doctorate and I have almost 10 degrees. Like I am highly qualified to do the kind of work that I do, but it's my reputation. That has nothing to do with my line of work or his. Reputation, how people feel you do by word of mouth, that will take you light years. In the small engine world, I got to tell you, he has people that'll say, I know you did work for my neighbor, my buddy, my friend, he's never advertised. Never. It's word of mouth. It's reputation. If there's nothing and no other advice that I could ever give you, and I think 19 years is fair enough. I think I'm given the right to give some advice here. Because I'm not to brag at all, but I'm doing extremely well for myself. Thank God, blessings. Please always value your reputation. Don't ever do a sly snake deal that when you sit there, you're like, ooh, this is going to affect my reputation. Because you know what, that one deal, that one client, that one anything that might pad your pocket just a little bit more, that one time, that's going to turn you into a snake and ruin your reputation. It's not worth it. It never, ever is. And I've got to tell you, I passed up some really, really fruitful opportunities in the 19 years because I said, you know what, this is going to turn me into someone that I am not. This is going to represent my business in a way that I don't care to represent myself. And you know what? I've left money on the table. Remember I told you about that guy, Gary Vaynerchuk? Check him out. He's awesome. He has left so much on the table.
Just remind me, I wanted to buy a snowblower.
And you know what, guys?
Sold.
Sometimes you are going to have to leave money on the table in life if it means challenging your morals, your values, your reputation. It's not worth it. Trust me. Especially some of our younger guys starting out. If I can give you any advice, never challenge your morals, your values, your reputation. But anyway,
so Ken, check out, I sent you a text message this morning, something for you and James Connon to take a look at. That is winner chicken dinner all day long. And I just missed that on the snowblower, but you reminded me. I need another snowblower like I need a hole in my head. Absolutely.
Speaking of head, you're getting a haircut today.
Now, got the big also. That's a home run every day.
No need to apologize, Tim.
I have to look up what an HRC 216 is. I'm not too familiar with the Honda lines. I try and stay away from commercial used and abused equipment because that's exactly what it is. So it's a really fine line. But I do want to get into one once my space improves. I definitely do want to bring one and take one down for the nitty gritty, not for the money, just be more for the experience because I don't believe in experimenting on other people's equipment first. I rather do it, my way the first time and then I get comfortable and then, I'll move on.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right. So listen, so if you're picking up snowblowers, then just be prepared to store them, Ken. I mean, listen, you have a nice sized garage from what I've seen you do a walkthrough. Time to clean it up. Everybody cleans up their garage. I have to clean up my garage again. My garage is an absolute mess from this winter, and I'm still playing just a little bit catch up. So,
maybe.
We'll go from there.
And you know what? He
has to warm up too.
He fights me on this every single time when it comes to cleaning out the garage. It's not listen, you got to drop the ego.
There is no
every time that I offer to help you get out there, we move mountains and we get it done and it's cleaned up. And what do you say to me every time that we do it? Glad that you did do it. So maybe we just got to get out there on the next day that it's the right to do. So, and in all fairness, during the winter time, we're going, especially this time. Thank God we had snow. He's flipping. We're moving. So things were just getting thrown in there. But yeah, I saw it the other day and I'm thinking to myself, oh man, we need to get in that garage again and clear things up because things were looking actually pretty organized after we cleaned it up last time.
It happens. It happened. So like I said, with the last video that we did, I've been in an absolute buying spree. So I'm trying to find balance. I'm going to continue to find balance. I'm probably going to be struggling this whole season, but it is what it is. I'll probably never have enough. As you guys know, last year I was able to lock in a monster deal with somebody for lawnmower blades for $8 a blade. I can't even touch that. And I'm just going to have to bite the bullet and pay a little bit more. I have been reaching out to people about a bulk purchase, and they absolutely haven't even reached back out to me. And I'm not even throwing out a price. I'm kind of putting the ball in their court, and then we could negotiate from there. But remain hopeful and just keep putting out the feelers. Keep throwing out your hook, and eventually you will hook somebody. Until then, we're just going to have to make do. And it is what it is. Nothing gold can stay.
Yeah. I spotted, today we're off to an okay start. I spotted a self-propelled. We're going to see if we've got wheels to throw on it. And
yeah, we'll go from there. So like I said, it's cold today. So all the work that I did yesterday absolutely paid off. So then I'll go through servicing a couple of machines and I'll be able to add them to the for sale pile. I'm supposed to sell another 2 or 3, one package deal and 2-3 machines on top of that. But I'm not holding my breath at this point. I mean, it's cold. It's whatever. I have a Red Max for sale. That's going to go no matter what. It's just the struggle of selling that because you're going to have that one buyer, but you're going to have to deal with anywhere from, no joke, 50 to maybe even 100 people plus who want to yank your chain and not follow through on it. But it is what it is.
I'd have to say, and I'm curious, please write in the chat for all my friends out there who are flipping and hobbyists as well. I'm curious to know, because we have our answer, what type of equipment, what piece of equipment do you sell that you feel you get the most sporadic, crazy, all over the place offers on? I can tell you right away the one type of equipment that I know we sell that it will sell all day, every day, without a doubt. That's why I know we always hold firm on keeping firm to the price on it. But oh my Lanta, we will get jokesters for days on what they think they'll want to pay for it.
What?
Let me know what type of equipment either you think we're thinking of, or what piece of equipment that you get the gamut of pricing on. Because, oh my God, we've got plenty of them now. And
feel better.
The offers, oh my God.
Wow, that's absolutely awesome. I love picks like that. Now, did you know that he was advertising all 8 pieces? Did you went there to go buy the mower and you actually get anything else? Jason would marry his Arians if he could. It's just a love relationship. Arians is very good to me, and I have to be good back to it. There's no other way about it. We have made money hand over fist with it, but then also in retrospect, we also have made money hand over fist with our Craftsman MTD that we just retired to our collection. So I'm a big believer in maintenance. But remember, when I bought that snowblower, I basically had to rebuild it, for the most part. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, it is what it is. Like I said, if you have a basic set of hand tools and you're willing to learn, you could tackle almost any repair on your snowblower. And all I had to do, I don't remember if I had to do a new carburetor on that machine, but I had to do almost everything else. And I didn't have to lap the valves. It was just everything else on the machine that went to.
And Chris, why can't you wait for those videos? Are you waiting to hear Prime for a good time? Are you copywriting us?
I could drag out a weed eater. So.
We've got some answers rolling in here. So Rusty's saying he gets his crazy offers on tillers.
Tillers surprisingly sell for very good money around here. I had no idea.
Mm-hmm.
Little Rusty Rooster. Woo-wee.
Because honestly, we don't get a crazy amount of tillers here that are in like really decent condition.
No, I had that one spurt and I'm like, holy, I started buying tillers before I was selling tillers before I even bought them. That was a pretty cool, interesting thing that I documented on the channel. And that shows you another thing to do, right? If there's supply and demand, don't be afraid to pay a little bit more. Because, as soon as you get it, it's gone anyway. And I just happened to get all those machines at the right price where it was, very good for us, very good for us. Don't be afraid to drop what you're doing and ride that wave. Mm-hmm. Do not. And that's why the flipping and the fixing, every day is different. That's why there's no rhyme or rhythm to my channel, because one day I'll be doing something, next is another. You will never know once you have that dynamic. And once you push yourself, you will always be, God willing, consistently busy.
Mm-hmm. Handheld gas blowers. Oh. Okay. So we're getting closer. We're getting closer. You know what, Casey? I didn't think of Habitat for Humanity recently.
Surprised.
So is Habitat?
We've never been to ours. We should.
Is that So is that a special section? They have that at the Habitat? We need to check this out. Yeah, now I'm so curious. I'm really curious. I want to check it out. Fixing and flipping. I've had a snowblower before for $200 and someone offered me $100. I was like, no.
Yeah, so that's absolutely.
Stay firm,
so Ellis knows how I handle low ballers. And I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's wrong, but I'm not a nice person when they do that, depending on how they are. I should really just let them and be their way, but I just can't. Sometimes it just irks me.
I'm firm and a little bit more.
Just like you're an educated seller, you should be an educated buyer. So I just kind of let them, have it. $200 for a snowblower. $100. It all depends on the variables, but you know what it's worth. So if that's how you feel, 110%, know your price. Yeah. And like I said, we're okay with holding on machines till we get our price.
Yeah.
And to me, it's worth it, especially sometimes when you run low on equipment, then you start like, oh, I should have held on to that. Mm-hmm. So, we have a bare minimum. And if fluctuate as the season goes and comes. Then there's certain machines that we have. I don't care what it is or where it is. That's the price. There are certain machines that you just cannot touch.
You can only go down. You can never go
Yeah,
up.
I have never gone up in a negotiation process.
Resale
Here we go.
red.
So Casey, if you were yesterday, your ears should have been ringing all day long because I was contemplating on the lawnmower that she had in the driveway that I just pulled the front end off and I took the motor off and I was painting, right? I was gonna paint it black because this is a flip and it's just a regular generic push mower, right? So you always want to keep your cost down within reason. So I buy black paint in bulk, and it is very cost efficient for me to use black paint. Besides, also, I like the color black in general. And the reason why I didn't paint that lawnmower black and I decided to splurge by using the correct color from Rust-Oleum is because of, last year and when we were talking about resale red. And I literally had the same exact lawnmower, and the difference was a brand and the color black or red, and they chose the red lawnmower, and I would have taken the black one because I think it had the oversized wheels in the back. I think that was the more defining trait. Is that it? Do you remember? Do you remember?
That was pretty much it.
But that was like mind blowing, and that's what we were talking around. Like, we were making a joke saying people not like black lawnmowers, and then it was just, it is what it is. Yeah.
William, hi. Good morning, honey.
Good morning. How are you? Tillers are the snowblower of the
that's dead.
So
dead on.
tillers
dead
here
on.
sell well, but you can't go too big because then you run into a storage issue. A lot of the people like these smaller tillers, but sometimes the smaller tillers just aren't there. But the ones that like I had and that Ellis had that he had on his Instagram, I don't know if you put it on Facebook with your engine on top and the tiller on the bottom. But it's your regular nice motor on top. It's not your lawnmower style engine. It's more of your snowblower style engine on top. Those sell, really, really well. Those are the types of lawnmowers. Those are the type of tillers you should, you sell around here. Troy-Bilt Pony, we actually have one of those. I've been sitting on it for over a year waiting for me to get my hands on it. That'd be a nice machine. Once you start getting up to the Broncos and stuff like that kind of gets a little tough, but they're definitely well worth it.
Mm-hmm. This would drive me. This is why we tell them, text us 10 minutes before we have our location.
Yeah, so we spoken about this before, and I know Ellis, he does
mowers for 40 to 60.
I think the closest person to me on YouTube and with what we do would be Ellis Mowers. The amount of how we do it and the amount of volume that we do. We do not sell out of the house. I'm not sure if Ellis does, but Ellis also does tractors. So I think that'd be kind of difficult. I don't know if we were to ever sell a tractor, how we would go, about it. Let's just meet in a random parking lot and you want to take this thing or that would be interesting. That'd be interesting.
That'd make for a great video.
Absolutely.
Chris?
But no matter how much you ask for a push mower, you're going to get the same questions. And where I am and where we are, I would never sell something, whatever. But if there is no difference between a $400 push mower and a $500 push mower that I'm selling, they will still give you the 20 questions. They will still treat it like it's a matching number 69 Yanko Camaro, right? At 40, in where my opinion, between $40 and $60, you should just be grateful that the lawnmower runs and cuts and nothing else. You know what I mean? That's just me.
And I tell you all the time.
And that's why I'd rather just put my time and touch on it, and then I could.
Someone's purchasing something, so you got to just deal. It's their Camaro. Like, who are we to judge how they're feeling about their purchase? Years ago, everyone around here had backyard gardens, especially where Chris and we live. Tomatoes were big, hench people had tillers, but nowadays, not too many seem to be into gardening anymore. Yeah, Chris, like I said, my grandparents, once they came over here from Italy, they had the tiller. I remember a tiller. Your father has a tiller, had a tiller?
He has a tiller collection.
Yeah. So, again, these were generations that were gardening, and you're absolutely right. We don't see them pop up too often, but, we're definitely grateful to own one. But yeah, like Rusty was saying, down south, there's probably some real fun ones that do pop up.
Riding mowers, zero turns are absolutely phenomenal. We just need to improve on our storage for zero turns. We really don't see a lot of zero turns pop up for sale around here. Not even the landscapers have an abundance amount of zero turns like that. Stand behinds, yes, but then again, that goes along the lines that by the time they sell them, they're used and abused. And like I said, I'm not afraid to take something like that on just because, but it just comes down to a more and space and time issue. And those stand behinds, they do take up a lot of space. And don't forget, here on the island, a 32 or 36-inch mower will sell for a heck of a lot more than like a 42 or 52-inch cut, which I thought is absolutely mind-blowing. I thought the bigger the machine, the more it would cost. Absolutely not. It's the lesser of the value, because you see with us, we don't even have a 36-inch gate. I could barely get my Time Master through there. So imagine if we were to have a landscaper, or what they would try and charge us for our, well, we know what they would try and charge us, because they would have to push mow it. They could not get a big mower.
And to keep in mind, when
gate.
we had our gate installed, it wasn't that they went by our dimensions. They put in a standard gate. So here on Long Island, unless you're asking for different dimensions, that is the standard gate opening. So they're not just dealing with that with a client like they would have with us. That would be anyone with that type of gate.
Ellis mowers.
Oh, cool. Mine had a True Value hardware store go out of business, and they donated the items so they didn't have to. Nice. Very nice. Chris, the original person who started this thing was a guy in Canada, David's Farm, about early 2000s. So we don't pay royalties to you, Chris.
So I went underpriced the tiller I sold a couple weeks ago. Lesson learned. I told you. I don't know how much you're selling it for, but I told you what I sell them for, and I know there's a lot of variables. But to chalk it up as a lesson learned, the next one you sell, you'll get your money's worth. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I know you are just like me. You have a bare minimum. So I'm sure, you did well. But when there's always room on the stick, it hurts. It'll always zing you just a little bit. It always will zing you just a little bit. But then you move on, and the next thing you do, just like it, it'll hold out.
Mm-hmm. There's someone by me that does resale, and they have a weed eater for sale.
Okay.
Worth the now he's a resale. Is he a flipper or not a flipper?
So you guys seen I buy stuff off another resellers. That's very small circle that I have. And as you guys seen, I did a video on a guy who resells mowers, and yeah. We picked his mower apart. And remember, you could sit there and say whatever you want, just like the customers do, or the neighbors say when they drop off their machines for repairs. The machine will never lie, and it will set the truth free. So there is plenty of that here on this channel. And you should use that as motivation to not be that individual. Because you can never know. Somebody with the YouTube channel might buy your machine and rip it apart.
Oh, yeah.
Very nice, Jason. I got my hands on a 522 snowblower, Craftsman, Murray, and a Noma. Well,
nice
they have
job,
to be either one or the other. Murray and made Noma, Murray made Craftsman. So you cannot have all three. I sold a black mower. I sold every black. So did we. Our first lawnmower sold this year was black. But the mower was red, but the engine was red, so it was Honda. But that was completely black. That, you know what? I will put it on Instagram. I will put the first lawnmower that we sold this season.
Rusty Rooster says Troy Built horse is king when it comes to resale of tillers.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, I know my father has the bigger ones, the Broncos. Even when there was a guy on my channel who dropped off his Troy Built, for me to service, and he was saying that it's almost like a dying breed. Troy Built used to be a phenomenal company, just like Ariens. That's what I would label the old Troy Built to the Ariens. I think they used to be in either Pennsylvania or New York. And he would say that every year he would drive up his tillers to Troy Built, and it would be like $200 or $300. And they would go through and rebuild that machine soup to nuts and make sure it'd be ready they would go beyond the tune-up, he would say. So, and then now you can't even get that whatsoever at all. The new Troy Belts aren't nowhere near, what you're getting now. But it's just a change of times, and, appreciate what you have and take care of what you have. And I'm sure it'll last you just as long.
Okay. I do, unfortunately, but I'm not taking machines for a ride. Did it, and not worth the trouble. Understand, listen, Casey, to each his own. It's just, we used to from home too. And it just, that's just not what we're choosing to do.
Yeah.
It kind of depends on who's around you and what your wants and needs are for selling from home. That just doesn't work for us in particular. But yeah, it's everybody's personal preference. Hey, Uncle Arch, good morning. Good to have you here. Hope it's a good cup of joe.
Good morning, Uncle Arch. How are you?
Yeah, I think, does Henry have the double gate open? Is that how he gets his tractors through?
No, I think he just has a single gate.
Then he must have asked for wider, because he's got to have a wider gate than us. Yeah.
Henry moves on. Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, see, Chris just says that here. When I bought my Skag, it had to be a 36-inch to get through the gate and shed. Anything bigger is a no-go. Yeah. So the machine that I was referring to, and I don't know if the Mr. is going to have the same kind of machine in mind. When we get our most outrageous, ridiculous offers, it is almost always on our backpack blowers, specifically a Red Max. We will get the most outrageous, outlandish, all over the place. Even when the ad says firm, firma, firmosa. He puts every language known to man in the ad.
Exactly. Because I don't care what language you speak. I speak green. If you have green, we could talk, and I will bust out my Spanglish or whatever other language I need to figure out to get that sale. I will not sell. There are people out there that put stuff up for sale. That's their choice. And they say, if you don't speak English, don't even bother messaging me. Something along those lines. And I think that's, whatever. I don't care. If you have this, then we could talk. If you don't have this, I don't care what language you speak. Goodbye. Have a nice day.
And I have to tell you, yes, we'll get crazy offers on mowers and other equipment.
But Red Max is bringing all the boys to the yard.
Oh my
and girls
God.
And girls too.
Because then they have their henchmen working for them too. But it's like, and then when they know each other too, because all of a sudden you'll get like the brother or the cousin of a friend who you turn down an offer for, and then they turn around and all of a sudden you get the same exact offer from someone that is part of the fam, like 3 minutes later. And so last night I'm having conversation. I literally felt like I had to be a teacher last night with one of these individuals. And I said to him, I'm not saying this to be rude to you. Please don't be disrespected. Do you know how to read? I said, because clearly you could not have read the ad. And they're going, I do know how to read. Then read the ad. It's like, I just can't. I cannot. Because we're going back and forth, and I have a price, and it was like they don't even offer half price. The machine looks like it literally is brand new. We don't, especially when it comes to a Red Max, like we make sure this thing looks showroom quality, and literally it's like a quarter of the price of what we're asking, and they're like, no. No. And then they come back with another offer, and it's like not even half the way. And I'm like, you're up to a third now. And it's like, oh my God, nothing. When he comes home and he's like, I was able to get a few Red Maxes or backpack, and I'm like,
her heart sinks.
And he sends me pictures to put, and I'm like,
she knows what's coming.
I know what the offers are going to be like and then when he tells me he snags the sale, like I have a possible sale on one today. And I'm like, it's like when Problem Child, when he leaves the orphanage and the nuns send up the balloons. I'm like, oh, please let this thing leave today. But I know he has more. So I'm like, oh God.
So Rich asked a good question. Do you wait until it's fixed before you list it, or do you list it and fix it as it sells? I will 110% always sell something that is fixed, tuned up, and gone through and ready to go. There have been times that I am in the process of working on a machine or on the final stretch of a machine where I'm warming up the engine Every machine I do at least run anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes, sometimes even longer if that's the way things go, right? Once that engine gets hot, sometimes an issue develops, and I'd rather have it here than have it someplace else. And that is kind of like my test run for it, is always when I run up the machine to get it hot. If I do other things to it, then obviously I'll let it run a little bit longer, but that's my trial period. So I will never list something for sale that's not ready to go. There are times, because of what we do and how we do it, there are times that I will have a listing for one machine and I will keep that ad up because I have its brother, sister, twins, triplets. So I had 4 snow blowers that looked exactly the same, and I sold all 4 using the same ad.
Everybody likes twins.
So that's the closest that I will get to doing something like that. I will never be like, right, this will be coming out, because what happens if it doesn't come out? Things happen. Things happen. So I rather wait till it's all finished and have it ready to go, because we're a team. So if I can't sell something, she will. And then I don't want to get into an argument with her saying that, oh, no, it's not ready, you can't do anything to it, because then she'll argue with me. So it's not worth it. I will always, always, always sell something when I feel it's ready and good to go. I will not put something up for sale that is not finished, even if I know if it just needs an oil change, a blade sharpen, it just has to be finished. I've had that luck a couple of times, thank God. I'm happy with that it happened here before it happened out there and became a potential problem. So I rather have it here, have a very good reputation, and I rather keep it that way.
The guys are kind of talking about the 2-stroke equipment, some of your favorite equipment, giving the 2-stroke equipment a rest to make sure it's a good start, like 2 days later, a cold start 2 days later. What are your thoughts on all this?
I hate 2-stroke.
2 smokers need to sleep for a day or 2. What are your thoughts?
So it depends.
Let's just get it out, honey. Come on, Braden. I need that cheese. He's gonna whine. He hates 2-stroke.
So I hate 2-stroke.
Okay, we got it out.
So
now, how do you feel about this whole?
All right. So here's the deal. So you guys seen? If you guys watched that video, I have a lot of 2-smoke equipment now. A lot. You know what the trick is? Buying it running. But anyway, so if I do something simple,
believe everything when you.
So if I do something simple, to me it's simple. Maybe you guys are different. If I do something like a carburetor swap, or just replacing fuel lines in the grommet, or if I repair a kill switch or something, that thing is leaving.
No different, Ken.
That thing is leaving the same day, if I have to. If it's something intricate, which I would probably never get involved in, then I would let it sit for a day or 2. But if it's something more involved, I'll give it its rest.
Braden.
I feel personally it's unnecessary to hold certain machines back if you know it's good to go. Just like we talked about, like special tools like a torque arm, a torque wrench. Some of us have a torque arm. You just get this feel of flow. Now, I don't fix 2-cycle equipment like some of these other guys do, but I do know a good running 2-cycle piece of equipment, when I see it. So I will send it, I will sell it, and give it a go. Like I said, I like
to seek out the 2-stroke curb finds, because I know he just loves seeing a 2-stroke come home in my trunk. So I go out of my way to try to find those for him.
So 2-strokes to me are very simple, but they're very complicated. I feel with the 4-stroke engine, I could dial in and get it running as best as I can. 2-strokes, not really. I am getting better, but that is just something I do, personally. Rob, you commented before and I missed it. You said something. You said chainsaws are popular here, but you said something about where you buy your equipment. I'm sorry I missed your comment, but I remember I wanted to touch it, but then I missed it. Do you remember what he said?
Yeah, right there.
Oh, okay. I buy lots of stuff at auctions, have to be picky. I find the more obscure and poorly described items are cheaper. Example would be a pallet I bought, half the items not described was a great deal. Phenomenal. Rob, if you don't mind telling me where are you from, and then of course you have to let us know if you get snow or not.
No.
We do not have auctions like that. We have guys now. I can't know if that's
and do
the
you
guys.
like 2-stroke, Rob?
But we have individuals that do the like what Ellis does, but they want to sell us the pallet. And I don't trust them. I don't believe. I believe that they sort out the good stuff and they just want to sell junk. So that's the closest we'll get to like buying pallets. Auctions, I would love to go to an auction like Rich has and a couple other people here around, just because, like I said, here on the island, the auctions that we went to, everything was goddamn awful pricey. Some of those machines that you're picking up for $5, $6, $7, I would pay that all day long because that's what I pay for scrap machines from my scrap guy. Mm-hmm. So I would 110% pay, for what you get there. I'm also surprised that they let you guys try and start the machines. The one auction that we've been to and a couple of the auctions that we've seen here locally mm-hmm. is you see it and that's it. You might be lucky to try and put your hands on it, but you are not allowed to start it. There is also another thing I used to do when I stopped. It's a company called Property Room, and they do seizures and they sell stuff that the cops pick up or whatever. And I feel stuff. It's some of it's junk. I bought a few things, absolute junk. Some of the good stuff, because they have locations all over the United States. There is not a lot of good stuff here in Long Island, New York. I think if I remember correctly, California has lots of good deals. But then again, I don't know what you could get from once you get it from Property Room, do your thing to it, what the resale value is in California is. But, Property Room is something to check out. But definitely
from
do
Denver.
That. Okay.
He gets plenty of snow.
Plenty of snow. Very, very nice. Two-stroke snowblowers.
Rob, he immediately is jealous.
Okay, so I have never done that, but I understand. They're phasing out two-stroke snowblowers, so that's something you don't have to worry about over time. Something to think about. From Denver, I get plenty of snow. I look at GovDeal, Picture Plus. Okay, yeah. Okay, so the same thing that we're talking about. I had another, a good buddy of mine, came a customer of mine. He was building a house from the ground up, and he is a very extreme go-getter, somebody that I kind of sort of look up to in some sort of way. He needed a skid steer because he wanted to do some of the work himself to save money, and he is very smart and forward-thinking. He went on ironplanet.com. He didn't buy one skid steer. How many skid steers do you think Rich bought? I'd say he maybe bought 15 or 20 skid steers.
Okay, in all fairness, this individual's in a very different lifestyle bracket than many of us.
Yes.
God bless him.
Yes,
God
absolutely.
Bless him.
But he's never done anything like that before. But he has the process to get it done. And then he called me, and I spent all day going through all the skid steers, servicing them and fixing them. So, and he still did very, very, well. So, like I said, absolutely. I remember, so Ellis, I do remember, I have one pallet guy that I buy from. He sells by the whole pallet only. Most pallet folks will pick out the good stuff and resell individually. That's why I don't buy from anyone else. See, that's good. So you have to get comfortable with that. I just don't trust these people from a hole in the wall. And that's just, me personally. But, I've seen what you've done on your channel. I've seen what you're able to do. So I think it's really cool. If I was to have a connection like that, if I had the space you have, I would definitely welcome that, with open arms. Mm-hmm. But something like that, when you take on a lot of equipment like that, you need to get it in and get it out too as well. And sometimes with our schedules, I just can't. I can't do that. So I'll always be chasing my own tail to a certain extent.
Mm-hmm. I'll chase that tail.
Hey. I have never grabbed the wrong gas can because I work on them, but I just get tired of mixing gas, and two-stroke snowblowers go through gas faster than four-stroke. Okay, like I said, this is our first year using a single stage, and it was 4 cycles. So I always hated single stages, but now I absolutely do have some, respect for them.
Our little beast.
But
any hoodle. So we're going to keep our fingers, toes, eyelashes, and all the things crossed that you can possibly physically cross on your little bodies today. The missus has a Red Max sale potentially scheduled in just a little bit. So it's been here. We've ran it over the last couple of days. It's a beaut. This guy has read the ad. We will see. I have a feeling I have dealt with this individual before. The name is Ring-a-Dingy-Dingy, a belly, belly, belly. You know when those names stick out to you? This name is sticking out in my mind. But you know what? Either way, let's hope this one is going bye-bye. Because I'm over it. I'm over it. This has drawn a lot of attention from individuals that I'm over. And then we've just got other things on the agenda today to get to. We're going to see if we've got wheels for this other self-propelled. Maybe pick that up if we do. And then see where the day brings us. I know Mick is going to be going on later on today. We've got Kenny going on tomorrow morning. We've got our Mr. Puller
Uncle Ed on Google
Uncle
Sunday.
Ed tomorrow. And
at night, 7.
It's going to be a little chilly this weekend, so snuggle up to something yummy. And remember, be kind to each other. Have a good laugh. If you didn't get to check out yesterday's live, I'm sure that can provide a few for you. If you are new to us, make sure you subscribe. Give a little thumbs up. Put your notification bell on. And yeah, if you're looking to be cozied up at home this weekend and you need if you need a laugh, check out yesterday's live. Also, if you have never been to New York and you want to check out some of the lights and the scenes, check out the last video that went up that the Mr. put up last weekend. It's a good one. It's our generator sale. We had a good time. It's like literally the picture asks, this is what it's like, a day in the life of Pat K's performance. He did an amazing job on the video. I'm really proud of him. He always does an amazing job, but this is kind of like New York and us in a bundle. So on that note, have a good cup of coffee, be good to each other, and we love you guys.
All right, guys.
Later.